muchachos, amigos, and welcome to Record Breakers, the music podcast where a group of friends gather together to share music with each other, an album at a time. It's like a little book club for music. Fun time had by all. I'm Petey Rave. Here with me is my team, my squad, my crew. We've got David.
Petey, Return of the Living Dead, Rave to the Grave. What's going on, brother?
Mm-hmm. And we've got Drew.
Squad.
Yeah. Gang. Uh, let's get going. Let's get talking about music. We have an album that we're going to be discussing, and the one providing that album is David, what have you brought forth for us this week?
I have brought forth an album that hit me like a Japanese bullet train, running at about 300 miles an hour. Petey, as a reminder, nearly everything that I talk about musically, nearly everything, you can always trace it back to Genesis. And this is a prime example of that because one of my favorite things in music is when an artist or a group successfully manages to do both eras of Genesis, the more progressive side and the more accessible pop side. And that is how I learned to describe the band that I've called my favorite band for the last 20 years or so, Frost. It's that unique balance of the experimental, progressive side that doesn't necessarily stand in traditional songwriting methods and measures, while also not being able to incorporate, not being afraid to incorporate those things that aren't necessarily under the rock or metal umbrella. So, shout out to our prog metal, the prog metal subreddit. I gave this song, the third track on this album, a listen, and this was about 3 months ago, and I'm still not over my hyperfixation for this band. So they are rocketing up my charts as one of my favorites very quickly. I've listened to their entire catalog, and not since I first heard the debut Frost album, Million Town, in 2006, has a band captured my attention this hard. And on top of all that, they did a cover of a Frost song, Heartstrings, complete with guitarist John Mitchell doing guest vocals on his lines in that song, with the singer and keyboardist Shelby Logan Warren doing Jem Godfrey's parts. And clearly, it confirms that I was destined to discover this band. And this band is called Kyros. They are from England, and they have managed to absolutely captivate me. And we're talking about their 2024 album, Mannequin.
Yeah, let's talk about the expectations. Drew, what were your expectations coming into this album?
The only expectation I had was that it was going to be musically dense because Dave said it was a prog album. Besides that, prog as a genre can go a lot of different places. There can be a lot more metal influence. There can be a lot more like pop rock influence. There can be jazz influence and such. And we'll go into where this one falls as we get into it.
Yeah. I was intrigued, and I wasn't sure exactly what to expect from this album. I expected it to be prog. Um, I expected it to probably be heavier than it probably ended up being, just because like the name sounded epic. But I was intrigued as to what it ultimately would entail. But not sure what to expect, but I knew it was going to be good. I figured it was going to be good. That's what I assumed. And luckily, I was not made an ass out of. Because let's talk about it musically. David, how would you describe this album musically?
In my head, I describe Kairos as if Dream Theater and Tears for Fears had a baby.
Mm-hmm.
It would be a baby girl, and her name is Shelby.
Mm-hmm.
That's Kyros. They managed to create this wild mix of both eras of Genesis, some synth pop from the 80s, with just enough of a foundation of the likes of Dream Theater and Haken to give it just a little bit of a punch. But that's really only the tip of the iceberg on this album. But really, I would say at its core, it's Dream Theater and Tears for Fears with a little bit of shenanigans sprinkled in between.
Mm-hmm. Drew, how would you describe this album musically?
Well, I'm glad that Genesis keeps getting brought up, because if you had told me this album was from the 80s, I would have 100% believed you. From the synths to the bass tone, it feels very 80s in a lot of spots, which I very much enjoyed. Um, it came with a lot of like very, very dense instrumentation, which I very much love. Like it was really going places. And the thing that I would say that puts this sort of, you can tell it's newer, because it, the mix itself, there's a lot of good. I feel like sometimes it didn't happen in the 80s. Um, but also, like, there are multiple points where, like, without the vocal, it reminds me, we did Cassiopeia.
Yes,
Cassiopeia?
Cassiopeia. Yes.
We did them not like what 6 months ago or something, and a lot of this like felt like they were taking a lot of heavy inspiration from them as well, and that was one of my more favorite like proggy jazz type albums we've done in a while. So if you can make me think of them, like, that's not a bad thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this one has a lot of those 80s influences. It's a progressive foundation with with it's a progressive recipe with pulling from a pantry of uh, some progressive ingredients and a lot of 80s ingredients, a lot of synth pop ingredients, a lot of um, retro pop and a little bit of retro wave, at least by accident as well. It is um, it is dense, but not in a way that is overwhelming. It goes fun places, and it goes on good adventures. It has uh a lot of like it has been said, the Genesis influence. I wish one of the things that knowing David for all these years and doing this podcast, I keep getting reminded how much I probably should go back and listen to more Genesis.
It all comes back to Genesis, Petey.
I even my first
You may.
even my first console I owned on my own was a second was Sega Genesis. So
A
you know
B A C A B B.
exactly.
You may
That's a
say.
that's a Genesis song too.
Yes.
You may say it's the Genesis.
Hmm. Exactly. And the foundation is really well built there, and it has really good like anthemic touches. It has like really great uh drumming, really great like uh mixes of like different synthetic touches, but also like every once in a while it gets horny and gets a little brassy and gets a little fun there, and it fits really well on those tracks as well as really nice touches. So this is a very diverse but very focused album that I think kind of hits a lot of those really cool like retro touches uh in a prog form. But yeah, let's get into specifics. Let's talk about some of the key important tracks. David, what would be the key tracks for one to zero in on?
Let me see if I can narrow it down to just a couple. No, I probably can't. The second track, Showtime, I would say is the real sampler song for the album, minus Shelby's voice. I feel like this is the official intro song. It's called Showtime, so it lets every member of the band show off a little bit while still maintaining cabin pressure and not going completely off into widdly widdly land. And it's a hallmark. And the drum sound on this track, and really the entire album, this is going to be a running theme. The drum sound, it gave me the vibes of that one GIF of the lady that is just overjoyed, and then the whole GIF just melts into like nothingness.
Yeah.
That the drum sound on this album does that for me, and it starts here. Track 4, Esoterica. I truly believe that this will be the song people will be talking about from this band 20 years from now. It's like the opening, the intro is like Blondie meets Steve Vai, and it's just so beautifully and uniquely composed. It's like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. This song is just fantastic. And again, the drums are sublime. Shelby really goes for it vocally on this song, and she sounds fantastic. There's a lot of great vocal harmonies and vocal arrangements, and by the second chorus, this is a full-on dance party, and they were on Cruise to the Edge earlier this year, and it ended up being a full dance party, confirming that, yes, you can, in fact, dance to prog. Don't at me. Track 5, The End in Mind, is, I guess, technically the more straightforward song, but it does have some real heavy technical proggity prog in the middle. Now I need to talk about track 7, and that was Ghosts of You. And when I first heard this song, I was utterly dumbfounded in the most complimentary way possible, because this is a New Jack Swing song. There's really no other way to say it. It's a New Jack Swing song with loud, heavy guitars and a big rock chorus. But the verses are just straight New Jack Swing. And I was just dumbfounded by it, because originally Shelby had said that this was not meant to be a Kyros song, but the rest of the band loved it so much, it ended up being a Kyros song. And she is doing some amazing vocal arrangements all over this song. Finally, I'll talk about Technology Killed the Kids Part 4. This is another good old-fashioned progressive metal song. The fourth of the Technology Killed the Kids string of songs, going all the way back to when they were called Synesthesia, their old name, and it invokes Frost in the best ways. And Shelby, to her credit, hits some real notes on this song as well. She really shines as a vocalist all over this album in a lot of ways too.
Drew, what would be the key tracks for you?
Well, I'm not gonna do the me thing. I'm gonna skip the first track for the first time in a long time, because Showtime. Oh my God, the synth run in Showtime was so good. The bass tone was perfect. The drumming was super intricate but not overdone, and super tight. It just brilliant. Esoterica. David praised the song. I'm also going to praise the song. Like the almost dark wave feel to the beginning into this like big grandiose midsection was really really fun, and then when the vocals come in and just cut through all of that, it feels good. Digital Fear, for some reason, especially like the first like minute and a half of that song, feels like the film score you would put over like walking into a warehouse where you're going to like fight some evil. Um, and like it's dark and dank and mysterious. Um, Maybe that's because we've been watching too much Supernatural lately, but that's the vision in my head. Um, and then liminal space. Um, if if you're not a huge fan of the the chewed up, chopped up, sample heavy vaporwave, but you want that same sort of feel, I think liminal space is the coolest jazz prog rendition of what vaporwave gives you as like an emotion, bar none. Like outside of like that hypnagogia you feel in vaporwave, like that, it's called liminal space. It does the thing that like weird liminal space videos and pictures do, which is gives you this like almost like half nostalgia feeling. It's weird, and I loved it.
Shout out to Team Destiel. Um, songs on this track, they're like we can go through all of them. But it's funny that I'm gonna hit a couple of the ones that have already been discussed, but um all of them are great, and we're really just picking out moments that define the album with this album. Showtime, like it's been discussed, like the drums are just fantastic, and then you
Just
come in.
all over the album, just that wonderful 80s drum
Yeah,
sound.
and
Just
they just
so
hit.
good.
They just hit differently, in a fantastic way. But also the horns on this song were really fantastic, and they come in at a really great time, and they add a really kind of a nice atmosphere and um uh nice feel to the song. And then they come, it switches over to the synths, and they do their own magic, which is really fantastic. Um, Esoterica, as has been discussed by everyone. It is just very like it is the the marquee song in this album, I think. It has such a great driving intro, and that the rhythm is just fantastic, and the that 80s feel just really works. And then it's just an epic 2 minute intro, and then it just when Shelby brings in her vocals, it lands so beautifully, and it just carries through to the rest of the song. Um, the end in mind had such a wild instrumental break in it that was just so beautiful, before it goes right back into the vocals. That first instrumental break, a couple minutes into it, just goes and travels into these fun places that just kind of like get your adrenaline going in a really great way. And yeah, I was looking for. I would thank you, David, for Ghosts of You, New Jack Swing. I was like racking my brain. I couldn't. I don't know why it was. I was not clicking. Why I couldn't figure out what genre or what sound I was trying to like what to name it. But yeah, it's New
And
Jack
when you
Swing.
hear it, when you hear that, you're just dumbfounded.
Yeah.
But it's great.
But yeah, New Jack Swing. Yeah, that was what I was trying to figure out. And yeah, that New Jack Swing delivery, the verses are just beautifully done that way. Um it's the most 80s pop of this already very 80s infused album, and in a beautiful way. But yeah, the there's so many tracks and so many moments, but those are kind of be like the marquee moments, at least for me, that stood out. Um, let's bring it back around the horn, talk about some conclusive thoughts. Drew, how would you conclude on this album as a whole?
A lot of times, I would say that prog is a very specific thing. Um, there's a lot of bands that like in sort of that milieu that I wouldn't just like put on. Um, in fact, very few. I think Rush plays to a big audience. Genesis at times can. Uh, Coheed can. Um, these, I think Kyros can, without uh, uh, taking away what they're trying to do, which is be a little bit more adventurous and pushing boundaries with how intricate and how involved and how melded together the music itself can be. Because of that, I think they're absolutely fantastic. If you like both having music on just in the background, but also like diving deep, so I think like a lot of the people who listen to us yap about music might be in that same boat. I think this is an easy recommendation.
Mhm.
They are
Uh,
absolutely fantastic.
yeah. Yeah. This is an easy album to recommend. This is a just top to bottom phenomenal, really uh fantastic musical experience. It's super fun. It's super fun to just jam to. Um, Especially now that I've switched over to hashtag not ad but title. Um, uh, and I was also trying out Kobas, both of them being like hi-fi in Kobus or whatever that one I think is they call it high res. This one has like max settings like 24-bit, um, but like super more hi-fi and like playing them on my headphones, hi-fi audio, that quality, and listening to like all the soundscapes was just amazing. And it is just a beautiful kind of like uh uh music space, physical headspace that it kind of brings around you in a beautiful way. And I don't even smoke weed, so this imagine if you had some of that. But yeah.
It's pretty fantastic.
Hmm. um
You know, so
yeah. If 57% is not enough, it's just you could it's, they had to bring, and that super majority, that rule didn't pass with a super majority. All right, I'm not no, that's neither here nor there.
What?
So it's why we can't have recreational weed in Florida. So it's
Ah,
50%.
bastards.
Yeah. Anyways, that being said, yeah, it is something that I'm looking forward to more. We've got an EP coming out, a new single coming out, so it's going to be really exciting. I'm going to go back and listen to their other songs, especially since their previous album, Alexa Dreams, is available at max settings on Tidal, which means it's 24-bit, 192 kilohertz.
And it's a joy.
It is so I'm gonna just get real sound nerdy with it. It's gonna be really fun. But yeah, and this is a really um this is a great discovery and a great addition to anybody's like prog arsenal, as it were. But yeah, David, you get the last word. How would you conclude on this album as a whole?
I want to say literally no notes, but I'll try my best to actually give some thoughts. The creative sensibilities all over this album, combined with the level of musicianship, has concocted something that I really only imagined possible inside of my head. And I'm hearing it on display. Aside from a few different genres here and there, this is exactly what I have been looking for. This is just what I was looking for that isn't too marred in the past while also being very, very modern. And it all just clicks on every level. And I'm so glad that this came as a recommendation for fans of Frost because holy God, yes. I'm just genuinely glad this band exists. And I have fallen hard for Kyros. And the analogy that I made on their Discord was if Jem Godfrey from Frost kicked the ball down the pitch, uh, Shelby got the ball and kicked it into the goal to win the championship.
Mhm.
That's what Mannequin is. And to me, quite frankly, they nailed it. Flawless victory.
Mhm. Yeah. And those are our thoughts on Kairos's Mannequin. Go ahead and check it out on our YouTube playlist. Play Record Breakers the home game. Do your due diligence and your due diligence. You can of course find it everywhere you find music. You can also go check out their Bandcamp or their website so you can order it. Maybe order a physical copy, order a vinyl. Support the band personally, and help them keep making music because that would be great. But yeah, now we get to the main event of the evening, the moment we've all been waiting for, our haiku reviews, where we sum it all up in poetic form with the 575. Let's get down to the nitty gritty. Haiku numero uno. Drew, what is your haiku?
Prog rock with big hair. They know what they're doing, and it hits heavy.
Mm-hmm. My haiku: wild, beautiful blend, immaculate performance, just can't get enough. And David, what is your haiku?
You can dance to Prague. Oozing creativity. Fun, brilliant, perfect.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those are our thoughts on Kyros's Mannequin. Like I said, you can find it on our YouTube playlists, and go check out all those things. On that YouTube playlist will be next week's record, and it's going to be provided by Drew. Drew, what have you got for us?
Well, uh, there was a band that I found on TikTok that I was going to bring because I really liked what I was hearing out of them, and then their actual debut album hasn't actually hit yet.
Yeah.
It hits on either Friday or Saturday. And I was gonna bring the new album from a band I brought some 300 episodes ago, but I couldn't do that because it got postponed for a few months. So I'm gonna bring a different album by that band, the band that I wish I had their new album now, even though I only have 3 songs of it. Some New Jersey natives known as Streetlight Manifesto, and the album is Somewhere in the Between.
Mm-hmm. So look forward to that. But that'll be next week, and this is now. And you can, of course, find us all over the internet. recordbreakerscast.com, rebelli.net. That's the website. Check us out on YouTube, everywhere you find podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and all the works. Like, share, subscribe, do all the things, leave a comment, leave a review, drink some water, take a nap,
Get
stretch,
something to eat.
get up,
Get a snack if you need it.
stand up for a little bit, but you don't have to stand up a lot. You can sit down again.
Have some protein. Get some protein.
Mm-hmm. But yeah. Bless
Bless
you.
you.
Until next
Bless
time.
you.
Hasta los huevos. Yo.
Toodaloo.
Bye-bye. I
Fighting.
love you, Kyros. I love you.
Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.